Techno Hollywood.
Good, we're starting officially. What's up?
Hello. Back in
Hello.
Berlin again.
Back in Berlin again. You sound like you have a cold, Mr. Latif.
It's allergies. You know, all the rain in LA. It's just the city is a blanket of pollen.
Okay, wow.
It's just like you wake up, the car is like this thin coat of like yellow. It's disgusting.
Yeah. I know. I used to have hay fever.
I'm gonna sneeze just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's good.
It's coming.
Look into the light. That's what they say.
Look into the ring light. Yeah, so it's bad. So I do feel a little stuffed up.
What episode are we now? This is 9, right?
Number 9.
No. Okay, number 9. We're approaching 2 digits now.
Yeah, we're all grown up.
Just kidding.
It's time to stop?
No, that's when it starts. It gets real with 2 digits.
It's for real now.
Yeah, it's for real now. So, anyways, I think we sort of left off last time with some more Miami stories, because we ran out of time. So maybe I can just start there. I think, as we saw, like we don't need to run through every party that we went to, because it's like there was just too many. But I think some of the learning, some of the interesting stuff was when we were I was hanging out sort of backstage in the booth with Black Coffee and Who Made Who playing. You actually, like if you're a normal artist, you play on stage, you're solo, right?
Yeah.
No one's basically there on stage. But in the, I don't know if we talked about this already last time, to tell you the truth, but I think it's so important to realize, like, you're actually playing for the crowd, for the B2B crowd too, for the other artists, the other managers, the other people standing behind the DJ.
In comedy they call it playing to the back of the room.
Exactly, yeah. So it's basically playing B2B, but playing to the more important people that actually get you the next booking, or like other artists that are like, hey, I like the stuff, I want to book her, or like some managers and promoters. So, and that's why you had it's kind of complicated, because like if you do a live act, like you still have to sing, right? And if you have the monitor there, right, blasting into you, there's of course going to be feedback issues, so that's why it's kind of a thing, like where you have to angle the monitors. It's another thing to the game now, where what I have to watch out for, like, so we want to have the monitors on, but they have to be angled so they don't hit the mic of her, like while she's playing, because you want to create a vibe behind, like you just said, playing to the back of the room in a way.
Because it is with Joplin, I'd say, and I've been backstage with you there, it is kind of like the full experience is not behind the stage, it's in front of the stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like with every band, I've been on stages or on the side stage with like big bands, and it's like, it's amazing how crappy the sound sounds on stage. As for most of the stuff, because it's like there's a reason there's a monitor mix there. The stage is normally dead silent, not silent, but it just sounds crappy. You hear a few amps and you hear a little bit of the original drums, but then if you go in front of the PA, then it's like it's a blast. It's a great
it's all
sound.
Facing away.
It's kind of
the best is the scene of that movie with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, the Star is Born. The beginning, that is what it's like to be on stage. It's like, it's a chaos. It's like, throw me the guitar. They're throwing a guitar. He's like, I'm not plugged in, and it's just, and they're all just like, oh yeah, and but it sound, but they recorded what it sounds like to be on stage. Didn't sound good, and I was like, that was so awesome.
Good, It's felt so real, and you really felt you were with it, because it's like the levels are off. You can't hear anything. Like if you're singing next to the drum set, all you hear is like drum noise, bleeding and stuff. Like it's quite a different thing, like on stage than behind the PA. So that was, I think, interesting. And did we talk last time? Remind me again, I don't know if you remember, like at the Ultra Festival, what they had as a backstage. Yeah, right. I told you they had the boat.
Oh, the boat. Yeah, you went on the boat. The boat stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we did.
The back boat.
The boat stage with the back boat, like that.
That's I think a good episode title. Back boat.
Really cool. The back boat thing, and another trend. Like, I met with this club owner the other day here in Berlin, and I told him about this, because I thought it's like normal now to do this, but I think I actually first encountered it in Ibiza last year, and then everyone I talked to now also in LA is this whole IV thing. You know about this?
Yeah, like
so basically it's
Bert Kreischer always talks about it after shows because he drinks a lot and he gets an IV.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of mind blowing if you think about it. So
did you do it?
Normally, if you got like, no, I didn't do it yet. But the thing is, like, it's a standard procedure now to basically, if you normally if you like get sick or like starting to get sick, you get like a boost directly into your bloodstream of a lot of vitamin C and zinc and all all the good healthy stuff to sort of get your levels up. Also, if you go to like a normal hospital or whatever, they give you this, right? But now, like, ravers brought it to a different levels, or DJs for that matter. So they party hard the full day or 1 or 2 days, and then just to get ready for the next show, they're basically before dinner, after that, they're all like hanging there, with the thing in their arm and just basically getting an
Hey,
IV.
what's up, man? How's it going? Don't hug me too much.
Yeah,
I got an IV.
Exactly.
Hug me on this side.
So basically, that's what they do. Like the IV is basically the new backstage where you hang out in the IV, and then you basically get the energy to go again. It's almost like cheating. And then at this one festival in Miami, we went to, like, you go into the backstage and there's a separate room, like, where people like, no, this big DJ is not here right now. They're just getting an IV. Like, it's a normal thing now.
It's like they're traveling with a hospital.
Yeah, exactly. And you remember, I don't know if you heard these stories way back. Like, I think when I grew up, there were these stories like, the Rolling Stones or something. All these guys, they go to Switzerland once a year to clean their blood or something, to exchange their blood. I don't know if that's true or not, but
they probably take like a young child and take the blood and then have a complete.
I don't know about that, but yeah, but it's kind of crazy if you think about the mechanics, like how this business, like, you need to get an IV to actually get to normal again, then to rave again, to perform and play, and then to sort of do it the next day again. That's why people like can play these 250 shows a year, because no band really plays 250 shows a year, but the only people that can do it are DJs, if you think about it.
Do you have to like rep the lifestyle? Like, because I'm thinking of a recent example with like J-Lo. She just came out with like a liquor brand, but she's sober.
Yeah, that's great.
So she has like, everyone's like, this is such a money grab. Like, what are you doing?
It's
like,
fake.
And there's a picture of her like sipping it, but she's not. It's just like not real.
I think like
so like, I guess my question is with the DJs, like, is this like, this guy is cool, he's a good DJ, but he's sober, so he's not like real. He's not like he's not like partying.
I think it depends really on the scene. Like if we're talking like obviously I don't want to name too many names and stuff because I've seen it all in the backstage. But if you think about like more of the, let's say, the underground scene, it's definitely like it's always been there. Like the drug culture is a big part of it, of course. So it's almost like the last guy standing is the best DJ in a way, because he's like, he can go as hard as long as he can be up for 2 or 3 days, and he's still there. Someone needs to provide the music after the party, after the after party and everything.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a joke. Okay, this guy's standing there still, so he wins. It's like almost like a game.
It's Survivor.
And the Survivor. It's like the DJ Survivor. But then it's
but is it though, because they're scheduled, right? They're not. It's not like, who can make it.
Yeah, they're scheduled, but then the big legendary parties are always the ones they're scheduled. Then there's some other people play, and then they play again, and then the whole traveling circus moves to an after party, like to a house or to a basement, and then the real party sort of begins.
And that's where
that's when they stay up another 12 hours.
So the unofficial party is where they're like, all right, let's see let's see what you got.
Exactly. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you're made of.
Avicii's dead though, right?
Yeah, so Avicii's unfortunately dead. Like, but the thing is, like, I think the new generation, I feel like the very younger, you're either full on, which is part of it, or you're like very straight, like total sober, like almost straight edge, I remember when I was starting to skate and in the 90s, there was always this movement with the straight edge too. Like even back then, like vegetarian, no alcohol, no drugs, nothing. The big X on the thing. So I think that's still there.
What big X?
I think that one of the thing was to put an X on your hand. to be like straight edge.
I think some kid just wanted to draw on you.
Maybe, yeah, but I'll have to Google it. I didn't do it. I didn't tat myself or something. But I think and I was never really straight edge. But I'm just saying, there's always a movement and there's an anti-movement. You know, and I think like a lot of new artists and DJs, which is probably healthier and they're gonna last longer, are also very controlled in that way. Mm-hmm. But definitely the big guys now, the legend stuff, they know how to party. Let's put it this way. Yeah. So it's part of the thing, but it's just almost ridiculous. You go to a backstage, it looks like a hospital, you know, like everyone is basically getting IV.
They need like it's gonna keep upping. It's gonna be like the IV, and then there's gonna be a guy with the EKG going clear. It's like it's gonna get extreme.
Yeah, it's gonna.
And then there's gonna be robot. He needs a new arm. We'll just cyber arm him. Like he's doing this too much. He's got to
no one's scratching anymore, by the way, but it doesn't.
That's why it's funny.
That's true. Yeah, so I thought that was quite a crazy sight, quite a
Miami.
Scene. But it's also like I have friends we know the same people. They go to Burning Man or they go party to a festival, and after the party, to like 2-3 days of a week-long party or 3-4 days, they come back. And they also get an IV first to sort of recover. You know, it just speeds up the recovery process, I guess. You know, like back in the day, you would drink like some water, take an aspirin or something. Now it's basically get an IV, and those things are actually like expensive, like because people come to you, you have to order them. I checked around; it was like $300 to $500, you know, like in LA to get someone. And then, of course, there's special ones that you kind of feel unsafe because like, I have a special formula. I'm going to put this and that in there. It's like, okay, you know, like this, a bad thing is bound to happen, you know, obviously. Right. Because then it's like,
there's a little menu. Do you want Michael Jackson, Prince? Like,
and then it's like,
hey, dealer's choice. Spin the wheel.
Yeah, and then it's almost like you don't want to get the cheap guy. Hey, I can do it for $99, you know.
Yeah, like, discount IV comes with AIDS.
Exactly. So yeah, that's a little rough, but so that was definitely interesting, and I think one of the key moment also like for Miami to sort of wrap it up. For I got to meet. I don't know if I talked about this last time. We got to meet like the house legend MK Mark Kinchin, and he used to be like it's also a quite interesting story because he used to be more like a producer in the 90s, and he did like some really classic deep house or house records. Like we're talking 91, 92 or something back then, which were underground club hits. And he was like super young back then. Everyone played it on like legendary house labels like Strictly Rhythm, Nervous Music and everything. And then he sort of didn't do anything. I think he went into pop production and did R&B and all kinds of stuff. And then because his records kept spinning, he sort of got back into it. Like we're talking maybe 10 years ago at this point. So, but he had a stint of like 10, 15 years of not doing club music.
Yeah.
And then he didn't even know how to DJ really, because he was never a DJ, you know? And then they're like, hey, but we want to book you as a DJ. You're a house legend into London or something. Then he sort of had to learn how to DJ. And then he started making records again. And then he had these huge hits. Like we're talking, especially more in the Europe, like hits, but he's based out of LA. He's American. No, he's actually, I think he's from Chicago originally, or Detroit. I don't forgot. So basically, it's such a house legend. And he also like this guy, I mean, he looks, I think he must be over 50 at least. Easy, like mid 50, and he has kids, like grown adult kids, but he looks like he's 35. Like it's crazy. Wow. Like talking about black don't crack, you know, like it's crazy. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So yeah, so I got to meet him and shook his hand.
You're one to talk. You're the time.
I know.
Lord.
Yeah. So
it's like you and John Wick. You're both like just don't age.
Yeah, and Mark Kinchin, MK. Yeah. So basically,
Keanu
that was
Reeves.
A good moment.
Keanu Reeves also Asian.
Yeah. He's half a quarter Asian, something, right?
Yes, there's some Asian in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did you see the new movie?
No, which one?
John Wick 4.
Is it out already?
Yeah, it's so good. And
okay.
And so I won't give away too many spoilers, but there's a main.
It just came out, or what?
It just came out, and like the main other like he's kind of competitor, but also just the other guy he fights with a lot is Donnie Yen.
Ah, wow.
And Donnie Yen is Ip Man. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And I didn't know it at the time. I was like, why is this guy so familiar? But he plays a totally different character with a different vibe. And I was like, oh, he's Ip Man. And he steals the movie. Like, you have to see this, man. It's all your things.
I know.
It's martial arts. They all dress in black. There's a big section in Berlin club scene where they go and party.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. I'm now excited. I saw all three of them. I mainly see them on the airplane. It's not a thing where I would go into a movie theater for.
No, you don't.
You actually go?
I went. Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah, okay.
It's 3 hours.
Okay. 3 hours. It's such a dude bro movie, though, right? I don't think.
Oh yeah. I went by myself.
Yeah, that's exactly. You can't convince any female.
I'm not dragging anyone, and I want to be by myself. I don't want judgment. I want to sit there and just enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. I want to see it again.
I would have gone with you if I was in LA. Obviously.
Yeah, we would have gone and bro down.
But yeah, I think it's basically 95% dudes in there, right? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I went to like a matinee, so it was kind of empty.
Okay.
But yeah,
kind of empty. Okay.
Yeah, but we both took Wing Chun Kung Fu at different points in our lives.
That's true. Yeah, I did it. I sort of quit now, but I did it for 5, 6 years actually, and I did it with Ken Sushi, and he went all the way to. I just met him also. You know, he just went all the way to grade. I think 12 or something. So he technically has a black belt in Wing Chun. That's kind of tough. It took him another 2-3 years, and I opted out at around grade 6, 7 or something.
Yeah,
to 12.
I was training with the guy who used to train Robert Downey Jr.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I heard about him. LA dude, right?
LA dude. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so that was a really cool musical moment for me, just to have sort of MK, because he also did a remix for a record. I actually thanked him because he did a remix for a record that I wrote, and his version became the big hit version for the UK and became a gold record. You know, a song called "My Head Is a Jungle" for a DJ called DJ Wankelmuth. And then Wankelmuth, I guess that's a German guy. So yeah, so I thanked him actually, and he out of nowhere, and he's like, okay, cool, like my pleasure, you know, type of thing. So I should have invited him for a drink, I guess. So yeah, and then what else is new? I mean, it's a holiday today, right? I don't know.
Is it? It's Easter. Oh, it's like a half holiday.
Easter. Yeah, it's a half holiday.
No, it's like Good Friday. Easter's Sunday or Monday. I don't know. It's all.
I guess it's not much. It's all a blur at this point. But
yeah.
And then it's another funny thing is like yesterday I had a dinner with this one A&R, just like a music nugget, and he said something so funny in German, so I try to translate it in English. It's not German English, but it's a funny thing. It's like, because we're talking about like, how do you recognize a hit? A&Rs are always like judged by how good their ear is, their feeling, and all this stuff, you know. And he just point blank said, like, you know, how you recognize a hit? And he says, I recognize a hit by its royalty statement. which I thought, you know, to explain that basically, so you know what he means is like, no one really knows in the essence, and if it's a hit, basically it will make a lot of money. It's a hit, and then you will see by the statement a year later if it was a hit or not. You know?
That's the most like self-aware A&R ever, because like they don't know. Just the guy's like, yeah, I don't know. Just give me the statement.
Yeah, and the guy who told me this joke, he signed a lot of hits, you know. He's like, so he knows what he's doing, obviously. Yeah. But it's a cool saying. I think it sort of reflects the craziness in this music business where everyone thinks they know, but no one really knows. But then some people know a little bit more, obviously.
Well, no one's looking for the person who says it's a hit after. They want the person who knows it's a hit before.
Of course.
Like that's where the money's made. But I would say that's not where the money's made anymore. I don't think the majors aren't in that business anymore. They're in the business of paying up for hits. I think I told you the story with the publishing. This one guy's like, we'd rather sign something. I was like, here's this guy. He's amazing. He has stuff. You could probably get him for like 50, 60 grand. He's like, we don't want to sign him at 50, 60 grand. We want to sign it at 500 when it's working.
When everyone wants it. Because it's like, it's a math thing now. Like basically, as you said, like, it's almost like, do you want the small indie cells to build it up first? And if it's really working, then basically, but it's proven to work. Like you see the algorithm, all the numbers are right. Then basically they get in, because then it's almost like a guarantee to basically they
can
recoup. It's less risk, but also it's higher. Like this is a risk game, obviously.
Yeah.
So if you get in less risk, but you also have to pay up higher. So I don't know if that's so.
But that's
clever.
What they want. They want to pay up higher for a lower rate of. They don't want to get in early and have like a 50. I mean, they would love that, but since they know they can't do that in a way, they're like, we're better here. We're better playing in this realm where it's already working, and we come in with the check.
Yeah, but then but then a lot of people would be like, you know what? It's already working. Yeah. I don't really need
that's the
you.
Risk.
And then
that's the
risk. So,
the risk of that they don't need you anymore. But
so that's that. But you're right. That's totally the game right now. So people are waiting till something happens, and then and then I'm getting more and more sort of inbound calls like, hey, so we see Joplin is working. There's some stuff going on. Let's sit down and talk. I'm like, I'm
which also is code for how do I get some of that onto me?
Exactly.
let me take pour a little from your cup into my cup, Tom. Let's sit down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so we'll see. And then I don't know if you saw this. Obviously, a big topic everywhere you go right now is AI, right?
I got some stuff to talk about AI.
Yeah. So a lot of things get thrown around there. But what I thought from a musical side, I think this one guy. Forget his name always, the big YouTuber guy who does like technology stuff, a black dude.
Oh, Marcus Brownlee?
Yeah, exactly, Brownlee. He basically just posted up a video of some musician friends of his, producer rappers, and they basically created a song, and it's basically featuring Jay-Z, but it's not because they can't say it. But what they did is obviously like these things were just floating around. They were rapping like a Jay-Z type of flow and lyric and everything. And then they used the voice model, which is sort of still in its beginning. But if you listen and close your eyes, you think and they had to tweak it a little bit left and right, but it's only version 1. And it sounds like a freaking Jay-Z record, like Jay-Z rapping. And
they did that with Kanye. They took his voice over the 50 Cent track.
I know. And singing like Justin Bieber songs and stuff with Kanye voice. And it's mind-blowing. It sounds real. Like you can't detect it. And this is only version 1. Imagine where this goes. So eventually,
you should get royalties for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big implication now. Like, because Jay-Z didn't write the lyrics, he didn't perform the vocal. It's just his voice style in a way. So everyone's very cautious to sort of get it out there and do something with it, because like now, I think like at some point, like big artists like Jay-Z or Kanye, they will need to get a copyright of their voice style and then sort of license that, I guess,
Well, you can't use someone's like visual likeness to market a product. So I'm sure audio likeness.
Exactly, audio likeness. That's a thing. Like, and I'm sure like there's a bunch of lawyers talking about and trying to organize it, because it's so many.
Maybe also Jay-Z's lawyer right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why everyone's afraid, and that's why also with all these AI generated pictures, like for other advertising campaigns, all the big brands, it looks cool, looks like a new brand, and you get fooled nowadays. I don't know if you saw the picture of the Pope with the Balenciaga. I thought it was real. Like,
really?
It looked so kind of funny, but if you just looked real quick, like he had a big white sort of down jacket. Like
I thought it was real too.
Yeah, it was. There was a fake AI picture. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like now, and if you look closely, it doesn't matter really, but still, like you can't tell anyone. We're just starting right now. It's crazy.
Well, I think what it's going to end up doing is 2 things. One, it's going to push reality to be more valuable. Like billboards will be more valuable. Because now everything online, it's pure video game now. It's not even real. Like you're just like, okay, this is just, I'm entering the virtual, like we're talking, everyone's like, oh, the metaverse. The metaverse is that. It's not this other thing you log into where you walk around with some stupid avatar. The metaverse is what is online now. Because that is all not real. It was not real factually for a long time, and now it's just not real content-wise.
Yeah.
And even it's not real when you see like these people who tell you, oh, you should do this with your business. I'm like, you've never done this. Like, you should do that. Oh, whatever.
The question is this podcast real right now?
Honestly,
who knows?
That's the thing, is that maybe later we're dead. Someone's listening to this, And they're like, we want more episodes. Let's upload their consciousness and their
thoughts and then
it'll auto-generate new episodes.
Yeah.
It'll just be like, and it's just like, Berkheim, comedy, DJ, drugs, whatever, put keywords, and it'll spit out like glasses, Ton, Berlin.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally possible, you know? It's crazy. If you
I want to do a show, like I have an idea to do a comedy show where it's like kind of AI driven. So basically it's called like AI needs help or AI needs the humans. And so like the AI will write the joke, but then the humans will tell it.
Okay. Or they will flip it a little bit or like modify it, I guess, you know, like.
I want to do something. I think there's something there where it's like, you know, there's like, here's a topic, you can put an AI and then the humans got to like make it funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or the AI beats them. AI is funnier than the human.
Exactly.
That'd be funny
like too. Basically, I mean, in music production right now, of course, you're gonna like, if I look for a drum loop and then there's an AI thing that and knows exactly what I'm looking for and I just type it in and all of a sudden, boom, it's there.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna use that loop, of course, you know, and put it. But I don't think like it can generate a whole finished perfect record which has the human touch and is special. Not yet, we'll see. But even if it can, I think the use case will be only background music, like elevator music. You know,
it'll get rid of like all those records where the human touch makes it worse. Like not everyone's human touch is good touch.
Yeah,
so those will all go away. But that little 5% where the humans are still the best, that'll continue. But like all things, it'll just get rid of all the people who are like, you weren't that good anyway. Just get out of here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think I think someone told me a number. So I guess in Germany, I don't know if it's trying to remember right now. I think it's only 500 artists, so to say, in a country of 80 million people that are really making a good, solid living of music, you know? So, and that number was back in the CD times was there. Now in the streaming times,
too low.
It seems kind of low, but we're talking about the 500 people that sort of probably make a good living. Talking about like 100K plus or something. You know, like,
that seems wrong. 500 people making 500K. I mean, 500 people making over 100K.
Yeah, but that could be the top 5. That could be the superstar artists that make millions, or it could be the ones that barely make 100K in a way to have a good life in a way.
I mean, you could probably name 100 of those 500, maybe more. And so there's got to be.
Yeah, but if you look at the charts in the German, like if you look at any charts, it's basically the same 50 people, and then once in a while there's someone new in there. You know, so I don't think that number 500 is off. I mean, there's no real study, I guess, but I think. Yeah. If you look at the Spotify data, and this is just for the country, but I mean, I don't think there's more than. I mean, the big vision is that there's going to be millions of artists living off it. I don't think that's gonna happen because if you think about it worldwide, there's probably not more than 10,000 artists. I would argue
10,000
can really live off their craft in music. Maybe it's a little bit more, but it's not like 100,000s or it's not like millions.
I don't know.
You know, because I think if it's Germany 500, then times 10 or times 20.
Well, how many genres of music are there? Like 20?
Yeah.
Of the most popular genres?
All the subgenres. But if we're talking about the bigger genres, it's maybe 5, 6, 7 genres.
Okay, let's call it 10.
The top of
like the biggest plus the biggest subgenres. Yeah. There has to be at least 1,000 artists in each genre. So that is 10,000.
Yeah, that is 10,000. Yeah. And then it's like 20,000. As I said, like it's maximum 20, 30, 40,000. It's not 100,000. Not even 100,000. With 8 billion people.
No, but it's probably at least 10,000 people in China and India.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah,
I'd say,
of course. Yeah.
I'd say globally, people living off of music as a profession. And there's probably data with the Census Bureau on this, for tax returns and stuff.
Yeah, we'll try to find out till next time.
I'd say it's 1 million
because it's an interesting question.
1 million.
I think that's the goal of Spotify. They said we want to have 1 million creators that can live off Spotify and that make. I think they even said it make over 50K.
And they don't.
off Spotify, and with the numbers are way off. Like right now, there's maybe 20,000 or something that generate, and that's just what they pay out to the labels and everything. We're not talking.
I was thinking like
to the actual artists,
like because they're not going to make a lot of Spotify. So I'm thinking like artists who support themselves with music for touring and merch, and that's just a whole package,
I know, yeah, I know. So it's kind of hard to calculate, but I mean,
because I know a lot of artists in LA that do like 20,000 on Spotify, but they do another 100 touring and.
Of course, on touring, yeah. That's what
just
I mean.
Just like I mean, I would say Joplin's probably in that boat.
Copland, of course, yeah. There's more.
So by that logic, you'd be one of the 500 people making.
No, we're not making that. On streaming though.
Okay, so you're just talking streaming. You're not talking as an artist. That I would lean towards a more conservative number if it's just streaming. You're right. I thought you were talking about just being an artist making over 100K.
No, being an artist could be more. I'm talking mainly about streaming.
Yeah.
I think because I talked to a distribution guy and he said that he threw out that number. So he must think only streaming, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, every label, it's like 20% of your artists do 80% of your revenue. It's pretty common.
And then also, this number, like I think also like 20, 30 million tracks on Spotify have less than 5 streams. So it's not even
less
like the grandma listens. Yeah.
So when it says less than 1,000, it's really like less than 5.
Yeah, less than 5. Like literally no one listens to it. Maybe it's like data garbage, like
they must
waste.
Not like that.
No, they don't, but they can't restrict it because anyone can just upload music.
Well, you have to be the choice. You'd be like, open up the gates all the way or close them. Like you can't really be halfway.
That's 100 million records now or something.
It's more of a waste of time to like filter than it is to just let it sit there and no one listen to it.
Yeah, that's probably the logic behind it. Yeah.
Just like YouTube, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then, I mean, also like yesterday someone said like the real use case of AI, like, because of course the dream is to be like to just prompt and then basically AI generates a whole movie for you or something, like a Hollywood movie. I don't think that's going to happen in the near future because you still need workflow. You still need people to produce a scene, to know how to put these things together, like
someone's got to make choices.
And maybe a super brain like Tarantino or something could generate a movie with prompting AI, but maybe he's the only one and also a movie that could compete with the Tarantino movie then, not some bullshit stuff. Yeah. So
I mean, if it watches enough movies, I'm like, if it didn't have to have actors and stuff, like I think animation it could probably do. If it watches every animation that's ever been made, I'm sure it could figure it out.
Yeah, but then you run into copyright issues. That's what the guy from the TV project also. You need to feed your own AI with stuff that you generated, which is your intellectual property. Because if you,
but no one's doing that. Already, I don't know.
So not yet. Yeah, no, they're doing it right now. So basically, film production companies are buying their own computing power now to feed the AI with their own material, which they own. Because then they can fully say this is AI generated, but we own everything of it. Because there's now stress already, like Getty Images are suing like whatever, like OpenAI, because the pictures that the AI uses are not owned, like whatever DALL-E or whatever Midjourney uses. They're not owned by the AI. They're generated.
So owning the content still at the end of the day still wins.
Yeah. Exactly. So hopefully, copyright and owning the content, and also being able to detect your content to have like things. I think that's gonna be interesting.
Well, that means the media companies are undervalued.
I guess, yeah. Because
if you could buy all of Paramount, all of Paramount Pictures and CBS is about somewhere around 14 billion ish. Let's call it 20 billion. That seems like a steal now.
Yeah, it seems like if some company coughs out the money, because if they can feed their own AI with that content and generate and own that,
own the data behind that.
Own the data behind it. Yeah, it's all about owning the data behind it to feed your own AI machine. I think that's what I learned yesterday from this guy.
Well, I mean, the original version of this was Google. It was the AI machine that crawled the web, right?
Yeah,
it crawled and it cataloged everything, and then they owned.
Yeah, but
that.
then
and I think they're not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, and you can't just like Google some pictures, put it together, you can, but then it's not you don't own it then, because the copyright is still with some other, like staying with the picture example,
Right.
Like
and
you
then
need to
maybe
hire
it
a
could be
photographer.
licensing. Hey, we'll license our content AI to your AI for this amount.
Exactly. Or we hire a photographer to take special pictures to feed our own AI and then have the AI generate from those pictures that we own.
I mean, it's kind of why Netflix is so far ahead, is because of their AI recommendation algorithm is so much better, and their data is so much better.
I guess, yeah.
I wouldn't say their
Are they
content
ahead?
is the best of them necessarily. I think it for me it fluctuates. Which ones, different times, different platforms have the best newer content. I would say, but so it's I don't feel like any one of them is. It's not always HBO. It's not always Netflix. It's not always Hulu. It kind of changes for me who has the best content of the season, but it's gonna be very interesting to see who is using the data behind the content the best.
Yeah.
And Netflix is a Silicon Valley company, and where the other companies are a bit more Hollywood. There's a reason why Netflix is worth $220 billion and Paramount Pictures is worth 20.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So news in LA. I think from last time you wanted to share some things because.
Let's go to the list. So basically, yesterday was the Comedy Bunker. It was our fifth sold out show in a row, which is
huge.
There
you go. Congrats. Very good.
I gave a little soft pitch for the main room, so we'll see if we can get that going.
I was just going to say, it's still in the small one, right?
Still in the small, but I think we're going to go to the main. So I think we can do it. It'll be a big jump up, but we'll be able to get some different comedians who, like I said, just some of them just won't play the main room or the small room anymore.
The small room, yeah.
And I think it's going to be a nice challenge to kind of like push it to the next level, just like touring. It's like it might be scary to jump from club to theater.
Take that leap, right?
To make that leap, but I think it's the time to make the leap.
But what are your what are the things you need to do now as a promoter, as an organizer, as the guy running the event? Like, do you need to basically run more promo or like target your audience better, or maybe really start that email newsletter, or like?
I mean, I have the news. The email list is the primary driver, and the post. I mean, to be honest, I'll just kind of do like a better version of what I'm doing, and hope for the best, and then kind of be like, okay, cool. And also, there'll be better. I don't want to say better, but more famous, more comics
and word
with
of
more
mouth,
awareness.
Obviously.
So they'll be on the show, and that'll help. So there's a lot of factors. It's going to be hard to kind of determine which one will tip it.
Yeah, I think it's like always, it's going to be a combination of everything. It's going to be like the people that go there, or like if it's sold out, that wanted tickets, they basically will have tickets now available to them. Then telling everyone that went there to tell their friends in a way, right? Then of course it's a social media thing also, but then it's also really the community and the word of mouth community, and then it's basically the big draws, the names that ideally bring in people.
Exactly.
I think that's a combination of it. But I'm sure. I think you can always, like with our partner, you can always do more. You can always post one more, do one more, tell some more people. But it's so much of it's like you're a promoter. Like it's a lot of work promoting shows. Obviously.
I mean, our account follows Gary Vee, and he posted something. He's like, "I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear," and he's like the king of making you stay on his page. Like, all right, fine, swipe, and then it says you have to be posting as a brand or whatever person. You have to be posting 15 pieces of content a day on the various social media platforms. I'm like, oh my God.
Crazy,
I just got stressed out and closed the app, but like it is kind of true.
Truth hurts, like.
But then he's like, if you outpost these the brands or people who are outposting win.
Yeah. And people think like you said before, like it's annoying, you don't want to do it, but to even cut through with this noise is already like a thing. That's why you can post and repost and post the same content again a day later or something, because there's so much noise. Just to cut through a little bit, I don't think it's gonna be tough to be annoying in this landscape, because it's like no one can be that annoying.
No, Nike can't be that annoying. Nike can't get through to me. I haven't seen someone from Nike other than the pants I put on to go to the gym. I haven't seen Nike can't get to me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So that's it, because it's all the roads are blocked, like it's so much noise.
Yeah, I've seen
even the brands that you like or want can't get to you.
I've seen 3 posts from Gary Vee and none from Nike. I don't know who's right.
And you want it the other way around, right? You want to have the new fly shit from Nike.
Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have some shoes than like a short guy yelling at me. But like,
exactly. That's funny. Yeah. So, okay, and then what is here? I have a German English one. Let's try that. Where is it? Here. Let's see if it works.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that spectacular all there, but here, German English lesson number 3000. So there is a German saying. How do we do this normally? Like I say the German saying first, and then I translate it literally, right? So okay. So the German saying would be "Ich glaub, ich spinne," and the English one would be "I think I spider."
A spider, like the
like the spider, but it's like or like spinning a web like a spider. So I think ich spinne is like I think I spin around in my head like I think I spider, but in a way like Germans sometimes say like the English translation I think I spider because it sounds probably funny for the Germans more.
I think I guess like is it like you made a trap? Like my enemies are coming into my web? Like, or is it like I've confused myself?
No, it's like basically just I confuse myself. I'm spinning around and I'm spinning a web in my own head.
Like not a good way.
That's the thing. Not
or
a
like
good way.
Confusing way.
Like you're confused. Yeah, I think I'm wacko. I'm confused. So I think I spider.
Can you say it again in German?
Ich glaub, ich spinne.
Ich glaub, ich spinne.
Yeah, exactly.
How was that?
Yeah, it's okay, but I think I spider is maybe you can start using it, and then we'll see if some Americans. I think
that's a tough one, man, because it's missing a lot of information.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess. Okay. Good. Yeah, fair enough. I tried the German English one.
No, you got to try them, but I just think in English that one's like you're like I spider.
It's not funny. Like it's. Yeah.
It's not,
okay. Yeah.
No, it's missing. It's missing our usual German English snap. But I'll still clip it.
Cool, but
you can't win them all, as Germany knows. You can't win every war.
Yeah, you win down, but I think it'd be funny for Germans. For Germans, it'd probably be funnier than for Americans. In this case. Yeah. But the thing is, the good thing is like we'll have to test these things, and you know how to by your reaction. That's the reaction that an American would think of these German English sayings.
Yeah. Like, we've had some great ones so far, and apparently some famous German actors stealing our bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we're on to something. We know who you are.
We're onto something. Exactly. We know who you are, but we're gonna reach more people.
Yeah.
In the States, hopefully, because this thing is in German anyways.
Well, I have other news. So I started working for this theater, the Elysian, as their managing director.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned them.
Yeah,
okay, what is that for?
So it's a theater in like Frogtown, which is also like Los Feliz, the area. And it's 140 seat room.
Why is it called Frogtown?
I don't know.
Sorry, why is it called Frogtown?
I don't know. I don't know why that's a good question. Yeah. There's a Frogtown brewery. They have frogs there. Kermit the Frog. I don't know. It's called Frogtown.
Hey, I have a.
You have a German English frog word?
A funny thing would, I have a frog thing. Like I just heard a friend of mine say something like, I think we was talking about something political or like someone like with corruption, bribery, and he said a funny thing is like, if you want to clean out a swamp, don't ask the frogs how they feel. It's there, of course. Like if you ask the people that are affected by it, they're gonna be like, "No, this is not good. Let's not do something." Yeah, but so I thought it was a funny saying.
How do you say that in German, or is this in English? You're doing that?
Yeah, no, he said it in German. Let me think. Wenn du einen Sumpf reinigen willst, frag nicht die Frösche, wie sie sich fühlen. It's like if you want to clean out a swamp, basically, don't ask the frogs how they feel about it.
Yeah, like, I think we're finding the real German sense of humor now. It's.
I'm sorry. Sorry, go on with Frogtown.
Anyway, so Frogtown, the Elysian.
So it's a theater. How big is the theater? Sorry,
140. Yeah. They do a lot of great comedy programming. Not a lot of stand-up. Yeah. Like they have Naomi Ekperigin, Nicole Byer. Like a lot of people doing 1 hours or like running their, going through like a full set, but not a lot of like lineup stand-up shows. And so a lot of comedy.
What's the difference there? Because I didn't get that. Like a comedy club is different than
a comedy club's like sit down, 2 drink minimum, comedy, stand up. They do like, we'll do like a play, and then we'll do like an improv, and we'll do, it's a bit more experimental, and it's such a great team, and I'm really excited. So I'm basically,
it's more art driven then, I guess. Like it's a little bit more
a bit
artsy.
more art driven. Yeah, a bit more artsy, like more hipster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like way more like East Side hipstery, but not like a hipster stand up. It's just like the vibe is. I can't wait for you to come by.
So like an improv class would be like considered more cutting edge, more artsy, because it's like you gotta be deeper into it, right? Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean
the comedy club is more like, hey, I'm telling you jokes. These guys there's a little bit of that, but it's also a bit more. I don't know.
Okay, so stand up is almost like the commercial version of everything. Like it's basically only pinpointed to telling jokes and entertaining the crowd, and that's it.
Yeah, right? these guys they'll do like a comedy play, or like maybe something slightly more serious, or also something, or people doing like their hours. So less of like a comedy club where you're coming for like chicken wings and beer and sitting and laughing. This is a bit more like it's just different. It's just slightly
going to
different.
A theater, basically.
It's more of a theater.
I get it.
And
cool.
They want.
So what are your jobs there? Like
I'm the managing director. So basically, I report to the board of directors, and I manage the team and help them kind of achieve their goals. So it's all new, and I'm super excited. The team is great. Everyone I've met there is awesome, and they really care, and they're passionate about the theater, which is like you can't teach that. So if people, it's like basketball. You can't teach height. You can't teach passion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, and you just started, and already you have some. I'm sure, like you're meeting the team now, but you there's some challenges, I guess. And what's the goal? Like you grow the audience to
grow the audience. It's a grow their donation base and just grow the awareness for the theater. So it's like scaling. It's basically business scaling, like coming in. A lot of the stuff I did for Dynasty Typewriter, which is another venue with a similar kind of demographic and a similar community. It's just building the business up to a place where it can kind of keep growing. Because a lot of these audience-based businesses, you got to keep growing the audience. You have staffing challenges, you have growth challenges, you have revenue generating challenges, you have a lot of negotiations with ticketing companies, and it's kind of like it feels a lot like management of one location. It's like you're managing, instead of managing an artist that's going around, you're just managing the location and all the different artists that come through. So you're less and the talent is your team and not the artist you're managing.
Exactly. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, I mean, I just had like lunch with one of the club owners here who owns like one of the big clubs here in Berlin, and it's also like, of course, like his artist is the club in a way, right? And obviously he's expanding the club. There's like a booking agency now because they realize they have a brand. It stands for something. They can take those artists. There's an image. Then they have like a record company now, so they can sign a new artist fresh, sort of from the club in a way. Then they're building publishing. So it's basically building everything around that club and that venue and that brand in a way. The sad thing is like if you don't own the club and the property, like everywhere else, like in Miami or in Berlin, like everyone's going. Like some investors buy the building and then they just jack up the rent. They literally double the rent, and then it becomes like problematic because then you need to like almost like get in more people, obviously, and then you're starting to compromise. You need to have a different door policy. You're gonna take in different promoters from outside because then you're thinking about like, hey, maybe we should open the club on a Wednesday and a Thursday,
not only on Friday and Saturday. Glow sticks. The whole thing turns.
Yeah. So exactly, so a glow stick. Then all of a sudden start to sort of sell VIP tickets, and stuff. So. It is a challenge for sure, like to operate like a venue like this for sure.
And sometimes,
but it's also satisfying because you create your world, right? You create
it's a world. Yeah, it's world building. Basically. Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes the brand is forced to move because of, like you said, the location. But the culture is strong enough and the audience is big enough that they'll follow. As long as you're not moving to Milwaukee, like they will follow you to that next location.
Exactly,
because they're there for you,
and
the
hopefully
vibe
there's a new generation also That you gotta have your old people that sort of go there anyways, your regulars, but then it's all about building. You're gonna lose some if you do some new things, but you also, as long as you gain some more people,
like Largo.
I guess
I don't know if you know Largo in LA.
No, what's that?
It was a great venue on Fairfax, or it was in La Cienega, and then it moved to Fairfax. And cool. It is different, but they retained their audience and kept it going strong.
It's like great restaurants, like great restaurants move around. And if people know what they can expect, the chef stays the same, the quality, the experience, I think they're bound to follow. The people. Yeah.
Well, it's like any business relationship. Sometimes the economics stop making sense, and so like you said, if the rent goes up too high, or the cost of whatever gets too difficult or too onerous, then you just have to make a change.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm excited. Like next time I come to LA, I want to check it out, see the workers, and it's basically the offices are at the same place.
Yeah, they have offices above. And so it's
nice.
Great. I'm actually helping them kind of upgrade so they can do more music stuff too.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not a music venue. No artists like music. They don't have a proper sound system or PA. I guess.
They don't have a sound system like that. I'm getting them set up with wedges for monitoring and stuff, but it's definitely not. I mean, all the seats are seated, so they have done music, but it would be nice to have more capabilities.
Okay, so no techno rave planned for the near future there. Not really. Not really, right? I mean, there's some good upcoming things happening, and I mean, everyone's, I think, excited now. Like people here in Berlin, like traveling next week to LA and stuff to go to Coachella, obviously, right? And
Coachella.
That's one of the big things, and of course, there's all these after parties, everything. I mean, we have some shows to play here in Europe. Otherwise, like there would definitely be a place where it's a good networking place. You see some great music, all the promoters, the managers, the artists are all there. Not all, but a lot of them are there, obviously.
And everyone's relaxed when they're there.
Everyone's relaxed, and it's possibly it's kind of too hot, but not too hot yet. Like like in April now, it's okay. We played there last year for Splash House in August. That was. It was the hottest I've ever probably played it. The laptop was melting. We needed ice on the ice cubes and put it into plastic and drop the laptop on it, and so it didn't melt. And because these things don't work. If it's too hot, like the laptop, like 40 Celsius, I don't know what it is, 110 Fahrenheit or more, or whatever. Like it just goes. Of course, the machines stop working. Even the CDJs and stuff, like they had like special vents and ice buckets to have cool airflow and stuff. Outside. Wow. It's crazy.
Ice packs.
Yeah, ice packs.
Coachella starter kit. It's just a big bag of ice, a CD DJ, and a vape. They're like, go.
And then so basically let's manifest it now. Like hopefully next year Joplin's gonna play.
Yeah, I want to see your name on that list.
Yeah. So step by step,
obviously. CA, let's get it together.
We all go. Yeah. We all go there and we're gonna have a good time.
They're the ones who will make it happen, right?
I know. Yeah. It's definitely but in essence, like I tell everyone, like you're in charge of your destiny, of course, and all the team can help of you, but you need to come up with the goods too, write that next big record, put in the work, and do those social media clips and everything, and it's like so much work as an independent artist, or even as a major label artist. It's just so much work,
on some personal stuff. I quit coffee.
Yes. What?
So I was like, let me go down to 1 cup a day. I was like, 1 cup a day. I would just fill this, and I'm like, whatever. This is what I do. I drink this, and I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
And then 3 days ago,
so you take 1 shot and then basically make it a super light coffee. Like put up the rest with water. Like
no, it's just drip coffee.
Are you filling up the whole thing?
No, it's of like American coffee. It's like light.
But that's a lot of coffee in there. Come on.
No, it's like 1 16-ounce Starbucks.
Okay. Yeah, but that's still like 2 shots of espressos.
Yeah, it's 2 shots of espresso of caffeine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, let me get that.
But that's okay. Yeah.
This will be me. And that lasted like 4 days. And then I got like the worst headache. I couldn't see.
I know. I was just going to say, like, did you get the headache?
I was like, I felt like, when they throw a flashbang and like no one can see. Yeah. I was like tracers. I couldn't walk. I was like, I stumbled out of the office, and I was like trying to find Colombo, which is like the closest. Is like 3 blocks. I was like, I couldn't drive the car. I was like, I can't drive. I was like, let me see if I can stumble. I'm like a zombie. I almost got hit by a car, and I got a coffee. It's
tough.
It's been like 3, and now I'm on two of these a day. I'm like, well, I got to taper off slower. Like that was insane.
Yeah, I quit also like one day and then a day later, like I was like, what happened? Like the headache was so mind blowing, literally, like if someone put a knife through my head or something.
And I couldn't see. I couldn't. I couldn't type an email. I was like, it took me 45 minutes to send this email because I couldn't follow the words. I was like, I had my finger out. I was like, hi. Okay, I gotta start again. Hi. Hold on. Hi. It was like, I don't even know.
Yeah, people underestimate caffeine. Is like it is a drug in essence, you know. Like, and it's definitely like if you're off it, like it. So that's why I'm limiting myself. Like I had like also way too much caffeine, but I also have like 1 or 2 espressos a day now. Like but I need those 2. Otherwise, if I don't do them, then I'm just gonna be a headache.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do like 2 and then 1.5. I gotta have like a program.
Just slowly get so you didn't really stop coffee. You just have a lower dose now.
Well, I want to stop, but now I can't. I can't.
Okay, you want to stop? Okay.
I mean, I'd like to,
still,
but I don't know if decaf is safe or not.
Yeah, there's a thing. I looked into decaf. There's different ways to get the caffeine out.
The Swiss water,
like
right?
Toxic way, like the chemical way. That's really. And then there was a way, like someone explained to me, some barista. I couldn't get it. I didn't remember now. But there's a softer, not so chemical way to get the caffeine out, and that's apparently better to have that. But I'm not sure if I'm sure at Starbucks or whatever, like all the mainstream coffee places. If you take a decaf there, it's probably full of more chemicals. It's better to drink caffeine than, you know, it's probably better for your health than to drink a decaf, which is full of chemical shit, you know?
Yeah, that's my gut feeling. I don't know if that's true, but
yeah, it's true. That's definitely true. You can Google it, but there's a way to get a decaf.
Yeah, it's called Swiss water decaf. I think they just do it with water, like slowly over time, instead of chemicals.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I thought like there's something like they use a different system to extract the caffeine. I don't know.
Yeah, and then my eyes started twitching. I was like,
yeah, so. It's like you feel like a junkie.
Yeah,
which we are. We are caffeine junkies.
Totally. And then, and then you didn't comment. Maybe you can't see. I'm like 4 pounds lighter.
Why?
The hair.
Okay, yeah. I can't see it
all
right
gone.
now, but you trimmed it.
Yeah.
All fresh. Nice.
Yeah, I weighed myself the day after. I have no hair 2 pounds.
Trim, but nice. You got rid of your fro.
It was too much. I mean, it still froze up a little bit, but it's much more manageable now.
That's cool. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so that's my updates. But this is a good app, man. We hit our hour here.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And I think like exciting news for you. All the best for your new job, obviously. I'm in the process of finishing finally with Joplin the album. People are hopefully waiting and just mixing and mastering now. And then I'll send it to you also for you to check out.
Yeah.
And
did she like the clips? Ask her about the clips.
Yeah, I will. Like she's now not in Berlin right now, but she's going to be back on Monday, I believe. And then I'll ask her. And then I think she liked it. And she hasn't really gotten into it yet. And then she's going to also post it and share it. But a lot of people seem to like our guest episode. So we'll probably think about getting some more guests into the mix.
Let's do it.
Right? That's the plan.
And then when are you back?
Cool.
When's our next in person? Do we know? Is it TBD?
Yeah, it's TBD, but there's a slight chance that we have something going in May already. Like we were just asked. There's a possible spontaneous gig almost where we would fly in and out for like a week or something in mid-May, but that's not confirmed, so I can't talk about it. So that could be a thing, but the latest is going to be in June. We have a show in LA in June.
So, where are you in? I'm thinking in July.
All over. And also in the States.
Okay.
I think.
Are you? Because I'll probably be in Europe then. No, I'm not. I'll be in France and Italy. I don't know if you're around.
We'll make it happen. Yeah, okay. Let's do one
Italian edition. We'll just eat pasta and make a mess.
Exactly. Right. Let's do it. Cool.
Follow Techno Hollywood Pod. Latif at Latif Tayor at Chi Thanh
Berlin.
Chi Thanh Berlin. Soon to be in a theater near you. Suntan.
Yes.
This is a countdown to you changing your whole everything to suntan. Like,
yeah, people start calling me Suntan here in Berlin. I had this one guy come up to me, "Hey, Suntan, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
They actually didn't know. They're just like, "You're the darkest person they've seen in Germany." And they're like,
"No, there's darker people too." All right. Cool. All right. Take care. All the best.
Cheers.
Cheers.